What if I told you that beat block is not because you don't have the right sounds? It's not because you don't know the right people. It's not because you're not a good enough musician. It's really because you don't have the system to create beats. There's 4 simple steps in making a beat every single time. The first step, you have a first layer called the rhythm layer. You could use drums, you could use melodic stuff. It's just rhythm. Rhythm is the in-between gaps between the notes. So it's the measurements from one note to the next. That's what rhythm is. The second layer is called the harmony layer. The harmony layer is when you have one voice, like a human voice, combining with another voice to create this harmonious experience where there's not wave interference. Thirdly, you have what's called the top line. The top line sits at the top above the harmony usually, because that's why it's called the top line. It's at the top. It's a melody that people can remember, and it has a rhythmic component to it that has a shape. Okay. And fourthly, you have the contrast layer. Now, contrast is all about differences. For example, I'm wearing a black hoodie. Shout out to Mixed by L. This is Anti-Social Engineers Club. And I'm wearing a black hoodie against a white wall. This is contrast. I didn't do it on purpose. It's just a black hoodie. But my point is that's total opposites, contrast. So that's the same thing we need to do when beat making. So when you follow that system, you guys will have a much better time coming out with beats. Okay, so in beats, I'm being broad. It could be any type of beat. You could apply this to Yeat as well as, Playboy Carti beats. Okay, so that's the harmony. Okay, so let's just add some of these in. Let's switch screens real quick. So let's go to FL. And we're going to record the harmony layer. I think you have the most leverage when you record the harmony layer first. That's just my approach and my opinion. Okay, so let's record some harmony. So again, harmony, try the rule of thirds. If you aren't good with harmony, try boom, boom, boom. Tresillo, simple. Really simple rhythm. It's just 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay, so we're gonna play more like lush sounds with this keyboard. Also, I want you guys to think about voicing when it comes to harmony. This is a little more advanced, but instead of me playing DFA-C the normal way, which would be this, D minor 7. Instead of playing it normally, I'm going to take this third, pull it up an octave. It's a little hard to get used to playing it this way, but this way it just opens it up a little bit. So now this F is almost like a pseudo top line for the chord because it's up an octave. Okay, and I'll show you little tricks for turnarounds. Let's record that. Then we're going to do a chord switch to. I'll show you how to do that chord switch. It's pretty easy. So that's 12 bars. We don't need to obsess about time signatures and all this. But it's 12 bars because of the chord progressions I used, how many chords I used. Okay, so as you can see, I'm not, the voicing here is not typical. So we're taking that third and raising that up. So this is what it would normally sound like. A little dark. So let's pull up that third. The third is a very melodic tone because when you have the seventh in a chord, the third and the seventh act as the same thing, basically. So I could remove the third and it would still feel like a D minor 7 chord. Okay, or I could remove the seventh in a ninth chord and we still feel like we're playing a ninth chord. So the seventh and the third are interchangeable as far as the chord identity, okay? So at the end here, this small difference I made was I simply took this last chord, which was, I think we played D, we played F. Okay, so I'm taking this bottom note here, this E, and I'm pulling it down 1. And I'm also playing the fifth and pulling it down 1. So whenever you land on a minor chord, in this case, E minor 7th, a really simple way to make it sound jazzy, take your tonic and your fifth and pull it down a half step. Creates that Tyler the Creator type vibe. Really simple. Now, if you're doing major sevenths, which would sound like this, okay, you're gonna raise your fifth and your tonic up a half step. And that's how you create a passing chord really easily. If you want to learn all this stuff, just go to busyworksbeats.com and look for the Music Theory Magic course. That's the strongest course on music theory that I have. But if you want a foundation, start with Music Theory Essentials. That's going to give you the foundational approach on how I teach music theory. Okay, so now we have the harmony layer. Let's go in. Now, because we voiced it this way, we also have what's called a top line. The difference here is that the top line isn't playing a rhythm. It's not playing an identifiable rhythm. So what we could do is go back and add a top line to this, more notes to it. Okay, so I'm going to go back and just record. Those are leading tones. I hit the wrong note, but I'm going to hold that. Okay, so I was supposed to be a half step up. Doesn't matter. Now that we have the notes in, so now the top line is distinguishably different than the other notes, and it has a pattern to it. It's not just playing the same rhythm as the harmony layer. So this is beginning the second layer here called the top line. So we have top line and harmony combined. These are the strongest starting points, in my opinion, for any beat, whether it's a yeet beat, R&B. Most of the time, you have harmony. Okay, so now we need a contrast layer. The contrast layer can be a different instrument. It could be the same instrument. So let's load up the JD800. And this time we're going to load up a bass. Now, we can go crazy with the bass, but the bass, I'm just going to be simple. We're just going to play the bottom notes. Okay, we're just going to play really simple like that. Now, it's not a fast tempo, so we got to kind of figure out how to fit this in. Okay, so I'm just playing the root notes and jumping up the octave. Okay, so let's see what kind of rhythm we can get. I hit the wrong note, my finger slipped, whatever. Okay, so we're gonna fix that. Again, just play the octave. So I was being a little dramatic with the little bass slide. Okay, so now we have the contrast. So I'm contrasting the top line. Now this is a very expressive bass, so I can do those slides and it has a life to it. Okay, so now we need some rhythm. Let's start adding some drums. Now I don't have time to really sit here and perfect a rhythm. So I want a disclaimer. Count just dropped some drums. It's called the Count Drums Volume 6. Shout out to Count. And let's load these drums. Oh, he has drum loops, thank goodness. Okay, because I just don't have time to write in whole drums right now. He told me one time he took 4 hours to perfect the groove on one of his tracks. I said, kudos to you. I would never take that much time, but that's how much of a master he is. So I trust Count. Let's go to mode, stretch, pull up this time knob, and let's see if we can lock in. Okay, I didn't lock in the right time, so let's do this. I forgot this is 12 bars, not 8. All right, now if I started with the drum loops or started with the rhythm, I wouldn't, the rhythm would be different with the chords. That one's a little long to judge. Let's see what else he got. He has crazy drum breaks. drum loops. Let's go to mode, stretch. Pull this down. Let's do 8 bars. That's supposed to be 16. All right, now it's just a matter of me stretching drum. So my bass isn't matching the rhythm exactly, but so again, if I started with the drums, our rhythms would match that. So this is the last step, is figuring out how to wrap rhythm around the harmony that you've created. This is why some people produce with the drum break first and they wrap the music around it. It's the safest way to, make sure that you end with a specific groove in mind. Some people, let me switch cams real quick. Whereas some people produce with the music first, and the music has a rhythm to it, and then you play the drums according to the music. There's no one right way. It depends on how groove heavy your drums are, truly. But that's the formula. It comes down to 4 simple steps. The first one, let me repeat this, is getting in your rhythm. Okay, the rhythm layer is the first step. Second step is the harmony layer. This is when you add your chords and your really chords. 2 notes or more combined is technically the old definition of a chord. Then you move into what's called the top line. The top line is going to be your highest pitch most of the time, melodic structure and motif and rhythm. And the fourthly, you have your contrast layer. And the contrast layer is just a difference between your top line so that you could distinguish it. Most of the time it's a bass line. Okay, but bass can also serve as a rhythm layer. So your beat is going to surround one of those 4 categories. And when you start overly stuffing one of those categories, that's when your beats sound too busy, or it sounds like you haven't produced enough. It's because you're not filling one of those categories. Or the vocal would fit one of those categories, like a top line. In hip hop, we tend to overly produce the top line melody, and then we leave no room for the artist. So that's the formula. If you want to learn more, just go to busyworksbeats.com and look for the Better Beatmaker course. It's completely free. Just go to busyworksbeats.com. Peace out, guys. Subscribe if you're new. Peace.